Hi, this is Graham's Garage. Fucking isn't. I got a business doing electric cars, but of course I have this legacy hybrid. So it's on this plate. Okay, I don't mind, you know. I mean, and specifically this body shape. All the pictures that I show, they just get straight into it, and they don't actually show you which car it is. Okay, so this is the car. We're doing a head gasket, and the engine is a 1NZ-FXE. That's an E down there. Okay, now there's loads for the later model, but I've not seen anybody just show you how to do a head gasket job with the engine in the car on this model. It is just possible that there's just none of them around anymore. I don't think so, because it actually was a very popular model, certainly as the European model. And I'm just stopping here to take a video. Right, how do we get this far? Well, it's quite straightforward, really. What you do is you ask a mate to get all this done for you. No. You have to take off the wiper stuff. Yes, in order to actually get the head gasket to be replaced, you have to remove the windscreen wipers. This is what we're coming to when we're coming to car design. It's like, you know, taking off the windscreen wipers in order to get a head gasket replacement. It's just mental. Anyway, I guess because this engine has done, I don't know, 150,000, I think. Yeah, and it's the water's coming out through the plug holes. It's like ridiculous. It really is quite comical. So yes, remove all of that. There are actually videos, and it's quite similar to the later model, so I just go for following that. Essentially, you remove the wipers, and then you remove the wiper machine mechanism, and then you remove the plastic cowling after the wipers. Then there's... oh, it's all in the boot. Let me show you. Yeah. So basically, you take off the wipers, and then there's this plastic top here that you have to remove, which is the thing that covers everything. And then you take off the... oh dear, it's buried. Oh, there you go. So you take off that, right, which is the motor. And then you remove this. Okay? This is the pan. Just a bunch of 10mm bolts. It's not difficult. The biggest problem you might find is getting these off, because once you actually kink pull the wiper back, then you can wobble it around and it comes off. It's a bit of a conical thing there. Yeah, I'm like this. I always put all the bolts back into the holes, right? So that means you never lose them. Number one, you never lose them, and number two, you know where they came from. You know, takes a bit more time. So you've got to remove the washer bottle, which I guess you saw in the boot. That's a pain in the arse to get out. It's basically, there's this thing here, plus you have to wangle it out past the AC and take all these plugs off and stuff. The brake, it's a good idea to take this out of the way. 1, 2, and there's another one down there, to get this out of the way, and you can just move it out of the way. Don't mess with the pipes. Okay, leave the pipes connected, but if you just get this out of the way, and maybe even like tie it up, disconnect all the connectors, and then get it up and out of the way, sort of thing. I still need to do that yet, but there you go. Right, and then you can get to the rocker cover, you see, and then it's just all the bolts around the rocker cover. There's a couple of stud bolts. I don't know why they put stud bolts in there. Anyway, they're there. I've got all. I'm going to put them all back in, of course. So now we've actually got the rocker cover off, and at this point, the reason why I stopped is because I wanted to make sure that the kit I got is the right one. And obviously, a good indication is that if the rocker cover gasket fits, because they're usually pretty convoluted, then you're probably okay. And this is the old one. You can see I took off, and this is the new one I put on, and you can see it fits. So we're okay with this, and I think we're fine now to proceed. In the kit, you get the actual head gasket itself, and then I guess one of these is there's an intake and an exhaust, and then I guess these are for the exhaust. I'm not quite sure what they are. I think they're for the injectors, these things, and there's some really nasty stuff down there. So what I'm going to do is, obviously, once I get the actual the cylinder head off, clean all this stuff up and find out, because I'm guessing it could be just muck, but it might be towel or something, I don't know, perhaps oil that's just gone and got a bit shit. Because I've removed this, I put the bolts back in, of course. But this is a stiff shaft here, so I'm going to have to remove that, I'm guessing. That's a flexible pipe, that's going to be the fuel feed, so I can move this out of the way once I've removed that, which is going to have to be a spanner. There's loads of gotchas. You can't get in with a wrench, you can't get in with a spanner, you have to use the force to get bolts out. It's like, this is so unbelievably tight that you can't fit a pigging fag paper around it. Anyway, oh, that's interesting. Oh, and then there's this cover plate which covers the top. I don't understand it. It's like, you don't dress the pigging engine. This thing, right, that goes over the top of the bolts behind the rocker cover, and you have to remove that just to get to the rocker cover bolts. And it's like, why are you doing that? I mean, I don't know if it's a thermal thing or something, because obviously the exhaust's there. I don't know, but it just seems like there's a lot of unnecessary stuff that they just threw in there because it just looked fancy. Or something, I don't know, I'm not sure, it doesn't matter. Yes, so to proceed further, basically, intake comes off and the exhaust comes off, and then we can get it out. But, of course, the spanner in the works is that we actually have the timing chain there. And it looks to me like I'm going to have to take the timing cover off, and that's a real pain in the arse. Yeah, because it basically means you have to take off I've already taken this off once, but basically you have to remove this engine mount, support the engine, and then you have to get all the timing cover bolts off so you can get the timing cover separated. And I haven't got a timing cover gasket, no, so I don't know, and I'm just wondering if I can get away without it. Because I mean, the other way to do it is essentially to remove the camshafts, and I don't know which is it's easier to remove the camshafts, I think, than to actually take the timing cover off. Yeah, because this is the cylinder head from here back, and this part here from there is the timing cover. So if I can separate those, I mean, I'd have to separate them anyway, because it looks like that the timing cover is partly bolted to the cylinder head. So that means essentially I'm not going to get away with it, am I? It's going to have to come off. But before I do that, I'm going to get the intakes and the exhausts off, because if I can get those away, then that means I'll be able to get the cylinder head out. Well, I mean, I will be able to, but it's just a question of what gotchas are there, because it's not a carburetor, it's an injection car, so because you've got injectors, so that's the MAF, airflow, and the airflow sense. Oh no, the MAF's in the I don't know, whatever, anyway. So yeah, basically, I did this what tools. So I've got this wrench, but you can do it with a socket set. It's not like you need this. And I think so far there's somebody who did it, and they said that basically you take it off from the. I don't know. No, I'm not sure. So they could. Oh, this, I always take this away. I think this is to do with the. That is to do with the windscreen wipers. It's something part of the windscreen wipers thing. Yeah. Don't know. Don't care. Doesn't matter. It's not. So obviously I've got access now to the exhaust part, and I've got access to hopefully the intake part. If I have to take the radiator out, I'm going to kill myself. Yeah. Anyway, so this is as far as I've got, and what I'll do is when I actually get the cylinder head off, which uses spline bolts, doesn't it, down there somewhere, then I'll do another video showing how I got that far as well, and then the reassemble. I'll do that as well. Yep. And I'll just do a quick, so you know which one it is. This is a European, I think it's a Gen 2. They call it a Gen 2. It's actually a Gen 3, because the first was a Japanese model, which I had. So this is actually a Gen 3, but they call them Gen 2s.